What's up, boys? It's UFC 320 fight week, and I'm here to give you guys my locks of the week. We're going to go through the whole fight card. We're going to build a parlay. I'm going to build it with you guys, and we're just going to go through it. But first of all, have you guys seen this fan-made poster? You see Yuri versus Khalil down there. Merab looking up to Corey Sandhagen, all right? And then you got Big Ankh looking like a champion. I don't even know. Look at those. Look at the size of bro's traps. Look at that nose, all right? And then look at Alex. They gave Alex a stone left hook. All right, get it? Hey, and the canvas just says UFC 3. This whole poster is flames. This is not the official poster, by the way. This is a fan-made poster, and the guy who made it is right there, Warwick Wong. Shout out to Warwick Wong. What an absolutely fantastic poster. We're going to get right into building our parlay for UFC 320, boys. We are in Las Vegas, the T-Mobile Arena. What a big shocker. Big whoop-de-doo. But UFC 320 is stacked. It is stacked, boys. We have two championship fights. 135 championship with Merab versus Corey Sandhagen in the co-main event. And in the main event, boys, the light heavyweight championship with Ankalaev holding the belt versus Alex Shama Pereira. All right, boys, this card is absolutely banging. My personal main event is Yuri Prochazka versus Khalil Roundtree Jr. Man, this fight is going to be an absolute war, but there's a whole bunch of little treats and Easter eggs scattered throughout this fight card. Normally, there's about 5 fights that are canceled because people withdrew, but it's only one. Ozzy Diaz withdrew from his fight against Audemars Gutierrez. Now, look, I did not have Ozzy Diaz winning that fight. I don't honestly think that anybody did. Okay, but I am happy he came to his senses. This was a high IQ pullout. I'm not going to lie to you. This was a high IQ pullout. I am not fighting this guy. This guy. Absolutely not. I'm looking around middleweight. He's at 185. This guy weighs what? This guy looks. He has a better physique than Paulo Costa, bro. Can we be honest here? I'm not fighting, bro. All right, but anyways, there's a whole bunch of good fights here. Patchy Mix, for whatever reason, found his way onto this card. I have no idea who he called, how he bribed his way onto this card. But the last time we saw Patchy Mix, he was on a main card. UFC 316. He was on a main card fighting Mario Batista, and now bro is on the early prelims. This kind of shows you how quickly you can rise and how fucking quickly you can fall. You get what I'm saying? But again, boys, absolute bangers here. The first fight that we were going to go with is honestly the easiest one for me to pick. Yuri Prochazka versus Khalil Roundtree Jr. Now, we're going to be doing Merab versus Corey and Ankalaev versus Alex, the like last. All right, boys? These are the, the premier fights. But if you guys have been staying with the channel, you guys should know who we're kind of leaning towards. All right, but Yuri Prochazka versus Khalil Roundtree. Let's go check the odds on that. Now, Yuri should be the favorite. He is. Minus 185 for our boy Yuri Prochazka against Khalil Roundtree Jr. I kind of like these odds, right? But just remember, this is going to be a 3-round fight. Yuri Prochazka to win by KO, TKO, disqualification is plus 100. Now, if you click on Yuri's stats, right? If you look at Yuri's official stat, what a happy lad. What a happy lad up there, boys, by the way. But if you click on bro's stats, 87% of Yuri's wins come by knockout. He's seen the judges one time. He has seen the judges' scorecard once. 3% of his wins come by decision. All right, so if Yuri's going to win a fight, brother, it is going to be by finish. So if you're taking this minus 185, you honestly should just take this plus 100. Now, Khalil Roundtree is not a dude who should be taken lightly. Now, he went 4 rounds with Alex Pereira. Yuri Prochazka, he did go for if you combine the two Yuri versus Alex fights together, it's about the same amount of time that Khalil Roundtree stayed in there with Alex. All right, so Khalil definitely has a chin, but why I'm leaning towards Yuri Prochazka KO TKO is because Khalil Roundtree's coming off of a fight against Jamal Hill. Now, it was a great performance for Khalil, but it was kind of a bummer performance. Now, he had Jamal Hill hurt super early in the fight, but he just refused to press on the gas. He was scared to actually go in there and, cross the void and put himself out there to finish the fight. He was. Jamal Hill knew that this fight was over. He even questioned him after the fight. He said, yo, Khalil, why didn't you knock me out? I was right there. And Khalil says, hey, it's because you confused me. and I didn't want to, get myself hurt. I have to protect myself. That's what Khalil Roundtree said, and you're fighting Yuri Prohaska. And you're fighting Yuri Prohaska, a dude who is so, like, creative and not orthodox. I don't see Khalil winning this at all. Now, do I see it going the distance? I could see a world where this fight goes the distance. Khalil Roundtree takes absolute beatings, but who knows how many miles this guy has on him after that Pereira loss. I mean, that definitely took a piece of his soul away from him. That Pereira loss. That was a rough watch, boys. That was a rough watch to see. But Yuri Prohaska, both of these dudes honestly have gotten their soul snatched by Alex Pereira, so it only means right that they're fighting on the same card that Alex is. They both get to see Alex Pereira fall over. We'll get to Alex at the end of the video, all right, boys? But we're totally going to go Yuri Prohaska to win by KO TKO here. I really don't see it any other way. I mean, I do, but I think Yuri's just going to walk through. I think Yuri's just going to walk through Khalil Roundtree Jr. I could see this going to a decision, but I'm hoping Khalil just sits there and he's scared to engage Yuri with his tall ass and his big ass range. He's just going to walk him down, boys, and throw some confusing strikes at him and have him looking all over the place. Like, are you throwing a leg kick? Or are you throwing a body kick? Are you throwing a roundhouse kick? Or just going to my face? Are you throwing a front? Like, you know what I'm saying? I think Yuri Prohaska is going to overload the senses for Khalil Roundtree. I think that's what I'm trying to say here. Now, moving on, boys. Josh Emmett versus Youssef Zalal. Josh Emmett is a crazy plus 360 underdog. Now, Josh Emmett is coming off of a loss against Lerone Murphy and his most famous win against Bryce Mitchell. But if you look at my boy's last three, even his last four, right? He went to decision with Ilia Topuria. Absolute savage. He lost to Yair Rodriguez in a triangle choke. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Yair, but Josh Emmett, I feel like, you're not that great on the ground, and I feel like that's why the odds are stacked that way. Now, if we look at our boy Youssef Zalal, wow, I don't think I've ever seen the Moroccan flag. The Moroccan flag is actually pretty cool. Now, that's a pretty cool flag. I'm going to give it to you. Now, my boy Youssef Zalal has not lost a fight since 2021. This dude is on an absolute run. He did get booted from the UFC after going on a decision. Draw. I meant to say draw. But, he did. It was a decision. I don't know why my brain just, went out right there. My boy went on a nasty 3-fight losing streak. But if you look at these names, I mean, Sean Woodson, a ex-heavyweight boxer who moved his ass all the way down to 145, super tall, super rangy, kind of hard to deal with. Soo Woo Choi, who honestly, if this is the guy I think of, I hold this guy in some pretty low standards. I'm not gonna lie to you. His shit looks like a Christmas. This looks like a Christmas tree. This looks like a Christmas tree. That looks like a Christmas tree. And Ilia Topuria. Bro took Ilia Topuria to a decision. Youssef Zalal took Ilia Topuria to a decision? Why do I hear the stat always be replicated that Josh Emmett is the only person to take Ilia Topuria to a decision? Youssef Zalal took him to a fucking decision. Are we being serious here? Hold on. Hold the phone. Josh Emmett, Youssef Zalal. Okay, that's it. I just want to make sure there's no other surprises in Ilia Topuria's resume. Who would have known that bro went to decision twice, right? But Youssef Zalal doesn't have the best resume. He just worked his way back into the UFC in 2024. Bro had 3 fights in 2024. He's coming off of a nasty win against Calvin Kattar, but in reality, Calvin Kattar, I mean, bro, you are on a 5-fight losing streak. You are 1-6 in your last 7. 1-6 in your last 7. That Max Holloway loss really just took you out of there, Calvin Kattar. I'm not gonna lie to you. And Dude had a 4-fight submission win streak. I think the vibe here is everybody. I got my butler racing my Corvettes around my house. That's what you guys hear. Sorry about that. But you got to give the butlers a day of fun. Okay, the butlers have to have fun every once in a while. All right, boys. But I don't think I see Josh Emmett losing here, man. I don't. We're goblins. Josh Emmett is a goblin. All right, goblin looking, motherfucker. He's been training with TJ Dillashaw. I've been hearing some good things coming out of that camp, and I'm just hoping. Look, the reason I don't want to bet on Josh Emmett is, look, obviously we know bro has like mega power, jaw breaking power, show stopping power, seizure inducing power. We saw against Bryce Mitchell. Bro doesn't set it up. He's not throwing jabs out there. He's just sitting there, staring at you, launching overhand rights. And then at the end of the fight, he's like, oh, man, that dude was tough as nails. I don't know how I didn't get through, bro. Maybe because you're not setting anything up, you fucking idiot. But I'm going to give Josh Emmett a chance here. Bro. Yusuf Zalal has more losses on his record than Josh Emmett does. All right? Josh Emmett has show-stopping power. All right? And this plus 360 is honestly just disrespect. It's disrespectful. This plus 360 is legitimately fucking disrespectful. I don't know where you guys are getting that from. Like, it's literally just. We're gonna go Josh Emmett here over Yusuf Zalal. I want to go. What are the odds for KO TKO? What are the odds? Plus 700 for Josh Emmett to win KO TKO. I mean, when you look at bro's resume, when you look at Josh's resume, last time he knocked somebody out was 2023. Damn, that was 2 years ago. The Lion feels old, boys. Hey, the Lion feels old, all right? But before he knocked out Bryce Mitchell, right, in 2023, the last time he got a vicious knockout was against Michael Johnson in 2019. So maybe we don't take Josh Emmett to win via knockout, but I'm taking Josh Emmett to win, man. I think the Goblin got this one in the bag. So just with these two, we're at a plus 820 parlay. Just Yuri Prohaska to win by KO TKO and Josh Emmett. Yuri Prohaska to win by KO TKO is honestly giving me anxiety. I kind of want to switch it to just straight money line, but it is what it is, and we live and we move on. Okay, that's what's going on there. All right, boys. The next fight that we're gonna be looking at, let's go to Tapology so we can get some pictures for the boys in the video who don't know how to read. Okay, I still am one of those guys. All right, Joe body cam off Pyfer versus Abus Magomedov. Now, I don't really hold Abus Magomedov as highly as like everybody else. Everybody else is over here like Abus. I don't hold bro as highly. I don't. I get it. He went to a decision with Carl Brahalio. Big fucking whoop-de-doo. His most recent win is against Michel Pereira. And how washed is Michel Pereira? You know what I'm saying? Bro is about what? Oh, he's 30. Michel Pereira is 31? I could have swore bro is like 40-something years old. I could have swore Michel Pereira was fucking 40-something years old. If you pulled me over, said, E-Rock, you better tell me how old Michel Pereira is right now or it's over for you, I would have been like 43. 40, he's about roughly 43 years old. That's, hey, Michelle, I don't know. You should go lotion up or something. I don't know, bro. That's not good, bro. You're aging worse than E-Rock. I'm 25. All right. People tell me I look 40 or 35. It's a rough life. All right. Now listen, Abus Magomedov to me honestly is not that dude. Look at it, 28-6. I mean, yeah, he's in there. He has the experience. He's been doing his thing. But Joe Pyfer, even though I don't like him, I really don't like bro. He's tall. He's rangy. Bro is dangerous. He has some knockout power. He did beat Kevin Gastelum. I had Kevin Gastelum against him in his last fight, and I also had Marc-Andre Barriault in their last fight. I've been betting against Joe Pyfer ever since the Jack Hermanson upset. Ever since Jack Hermanson fraud checked Joe Pyfer, I've been on the Joe Pyfer anti-spree. All right, but look, I might have to turn this around just knowing that there's kind of no way Joe Pyfer loses this fight against Abus Nurmagomedov. I personally do not see him losing this fight against Abus. Like, absolutely not. I'm going to be 100% honest with you, boys. I really don't. What are the odds on this? Yeah, Abus plus 215. It honestly should be. Abus is plus 215 and Josh Emmett is plus 360. These odd makers honestly need to get fired. We're going to go Joe Pyfer here, boys. We're going Joe Pyfer here, boys. I am not going to lie to you. All right, let's look back at the card. Let's get a little crazy. Look, I'm not betting against Audemars Gutierrez. Now, I know Tristan Vines is nice. I've heard some things about, bro. I've heard his name multiple times on Twitter, and I've seen a little bit of things on YouTube about, bro. He's nice. Absolutely no fucking way he walks through Audemars Gutierrez. Look, if you owe somebody money, boys, okay, and you don't know how else you're going to get it, put this bread on Audemars Gutierrez, bro. That's just the deal. I'm looking for him. They don't even have his odds up right now. Hold on. Yeah, so I looked, and these Audemars Gutierrez odds are not up. They're not up. Now I get it. They changed his opponent last second, and you guys don't know if you're going to put him at minus 5,000 or minus 6,000. But it really, listen, put all of your bread on Audemars Gutierrez whenever they decide to post those odds. All right, boys, moving on. Edmund Shabazian versus Andre Muniz. Now, Andre Muniz coming off of a round 1 loss against Ikram Alaskarov. I do not like Ikram Alaskarov. I don't. Personally, I think bro's a fraud. I do not think that Robert Whittaker loss was a fluke. I honestly think bro has a chicken jaw. I honestly think that Ikram Alaskarov has a chicken jaw. So when you go out there and lose a fight to somebody like Ikram, I am not going to be betting on you. I am honestly not. Now, Edmund Shabazian, right, is coming off of beating up Andre Podolski, who I kind of hold a little highly, you know, and he has a recent loss to Gerald Marashot, round 2, arm triangle choke. Gerald Marashot is kind of a beast. It's not really a loss to get that upset at, but he has some elite losses, bro. If you look at my boy's record, he's been kind of through the fucking ringer. Anthony Fluffy Hernandez knocked him out in round 3. Those boys went to war. All right, Nasruddin Imavov put this boy in a fucking crucifix. He took Jack Hermanson to a decision, which he lost, and he got beat up by Derek Brunson. His resume is pretty elite. My boy Edmund has fought some decent competition. What are the odds? What are the odds? But what are the Edmund minus 325? I will agree. I will not concur. I will agree. I did not know that Chris Gutierrez is on this card. What a zesty ass profile picture for your tap out. You are a professional fighter, bro. You look like a mini Johnny Walker right here. You could have picked literally any other picture. You have a picture of you knocking somebody out. Look, yeah, see? Round 1 knee. Post that picture, please. Like, come on. All right. Now, Chris Gutierrez, where I know Chris Gutierrez from is his banger fight against Song Yadong. Shout out to Song Yadong. I hold Song Yadong in the highest of highest standards at 135. But my boy went to a decision with him. If you could withstand those Song Yadong leg kicks, those little ninja kicks he be throwing, he's powerful, bro. You know you're gonna be put in some high standings with the E-Dog. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now Chris Gutierrez is fighting Farad Barashat. All right, what a pretty solid name. Bro is undefeated, 13-0. Has he fought some competition? Yeah. He has. Damone Blackshear, he took him out of there, decision unanimous. Victor Hugo is like kind of alright. He's doing his thing, 25-4, like he's a veteran. But I think this is going to be my boy's biggest test, Farad Barashi against Chris Gutierrez. Chris Gutierrez is fucking good. He is damn good, bro. He beat Frankie Edgar. He has some solid competition on here. Cody Durden you took Cody Durden to a draw? How damn good is Cody Durden? We might need to be having these conversations. But he beat up Jimmy Flick, Ryan McDonald. I don't even know why that name jumped out of the page to me. I have no idea who Ryan McDonald is. But my boy Chris Gutierrez has some solid competition. It's going to be a real test for Farid Barashot here, boys. A real test. You know, he has 6 wins via submission, 6 wins via decision. I don't know, man. I think I low-key might have to go Chris Gutierrez here, boys. Boys, these odds are a little, like, lopsided if you ask me. Look, like, plus 360 Josh Emmett. Plus 360 Chris Gutierrez. I don't really know whoever is making these odds over at DraftKings honestly needs to be checked. You should really go check yourself into whatever institution is closest to you, because I don't know what's going on over there. But all right, we'll find some more locks of the week. All right, look. This fight right here. Daniel Santos versus Joe Sang-yu. This is going to be fight of the night. Fight of the night. I can honestly we got basically 3 title fights above everybody. Hey, recency bias is a thing. People honestly might forget about, but I promise this fight is going to be straight fireworks. Daniel Santos versus Joe Sang-yu. Joe Sang-yu is 9-0. Daniel Santos is 12-0. Daniel Santos has like no competition on his resume. Bro has no competition on his resume. He has more canceled fights in the UFC than he has actual fights in the UFC. I'm going to be completely honest with you. But Joe Sang-yu is coming off of a round 1, 28-second disgusting knockout over a kid named Jaka Sharik. Hey, listen, I'm not really the best pronouncer when it comes to names like that. You know what I mean? I'm not over here. Yeah, hey, I'm not over here. I'm not gonna sound it out, bro. All right, I'm gonna say how it's spelled. Let's be honest here. He doesn't honestly have any comp either. Joe Sang-yu and Daniel Santos, neither of you guys have some comps, so you guys are gonna find yourselves in the middle of the octagon here. I'm kind of gonna go with the little baby Korean Zombie Jr. You do not bet against Korean Zombie, boys. Look, listen, if you don't know, I got my stomach tatted. Okay, I had that right before I had my daughter. I got my stomach tattooed. And what I did, Korean Zombie retired the week before I got my stomach tattoo. It made E-Rock cry during that walkout. So while I'm getting my stomach tattooed, I'm listening to Zombie by the Cranberries, which is Korean Zombie's walkout song. And hey, Korean Zombie will always live in my memory for that moment. And so will Joe Sang-yu, hopefully. All right, Joe Sang-yu. I'm going to put... Oh, I was going to say I've never seen that. Purple question mark. Result unknown, by the way. Like, what the fuck? Why don't you just call somebody and ask? But, Joe Sang-yu, I'm going to be putting my faith in you, bro. Plus 120. I think that's a little disrespectful for a guy coming off as a pupil of the Korean Zombie, but... I'll give it to him. Now, look, we don't even need to click on Tabology for this one. Look, Macy Chinnison versus whoever. Look, normally I tell everybody never bet on women fights. Okay, these women don't know what they're doing, and the odds makers for the women fights know even less of what they're doing. All right? Now, Macy Chinnison is tall as hell, has great reach. You're thinking, E-Rock, how do you know this? Are you okay? I play her in UFC 5. When we play UFC 5 ranked, they give you random weight classes, and we get to the women's weight class. When we get to her weight class, I pick her. She's the tallest, she's rangy, and I just step back and, right hand people all day. I break their nose and do their thing. But don't. I was going to say do it. Don't do it. Moving on, boys. Patchy Mix is a minus 310 favorite against Jacob Wolkatz. Now, I have no idea who Jacob Wolkatz is, or maybe I do. He's unranked. No fights. I have no idea who this kid is. Coming from KSW, who's a champion in KSW. He won. Wow, that's nuts. You won your belt off of a split decision, and then you retained your belt off of a decision, off of a draw. And then you guys fought for a third time, and then you choked him out in the second round. That's pretty lit. You fought somebody 3 times, and like, bro had the Volk. Bro had the Volk Max trilogy going on down there. I don't think Patchy Mix walks through fucking anybody at the UFC. Absolutely not, bro. Patchy Mix is old, man. He's 20-2. He's had some bad. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm thinking of Aaron Pico. Do you see how these people just like mesh? See how they just mesh into like all of these random signees just kind of mesh into each other? Look, I was gonna say Patchy Mix has suffered some nasty knockout losses, but I was thinking of fucking Aaron Pico, who has suffered some nasty knockout losses. You know, the only time we have seen Patchy Mix lose in recent memory is Mario Batista. Previous to that, he lost in 2020. That's a nice 5-year unbeaten streak. He had a few fights in there, but I don't think Patchy Mix walks through this guy who just fought the same dude 3 times. Look, I am not betting on people who are coming from Bellator. We have seen the result of their work in their training camps. It is literally absolutely nothing, okay? These guys are not ready to step into the UFC. If you saw Patchy Mix's last performance and you think he's going to do better than that, like, let's listen. That was his performance against Mario Batista was one of the worst debut performances in the UFC I think I've ever seen. It was probably on the top 5 of worst performances ever for the rest of time. All right, Patchy Mix, I will never put my hard-earned money in your hands. I'm going to be honest with you. Jacob Wolcatz, plus 250. Welcome to the fucking parlay. All right, you know what I'm saying? This parlay is looking juicy, boys. Plus 58,000 right now. If we put let's put 50 on it. We put 50 on it, we make $30,000. If we put 50 on this and all of our 7 fighters win, we come up with a 30 ball. Okay, if this parlay smacks you, we'll be seeing me with a better camera. With a better camera, I promise you that. Okay, let's go see. I'm pretty sure I have like 2 or 3 more locks of the week for you guys. Well, obviously we still have to do the main event and the co-main event, but let me just, I mean, Austin Vanderford, you know, I kind of have a little bit of liking to that fight against Nicolay. Whatever, was pretty solid. What a good performance. But I think that's it for the, you know, the fights under. Let's go to this co-main and this main event now. Boys, I'm going to be honest with you. Corey Sandhagen versus Merab Dvalishvili. A lot of people have been saying that Corey Sandhagen is going to be the biggest test for Merab, and I don't think so. I think the biggest test that we've seen from Merab was Umar Nurmagomedov. You know, Umar just kind of walked through Corey Sandhagen. It was a little close, but Umar still came out on top decisively. And then when Umar fought Merab, which was literally right after he beat up Corey Sandhagen, Umar got beat decisively by Merab Dvalishvili. Now, I get it. You guys are saying, look, man, Corey Sandhagen is coming off of snapping Deiveson Figueiredo's knee in half. Yeah, that was in a 50-50 position, and he literally said on the mic, you could tell that Deiveson has never been in a 50-50 position before because he made a beginner's mistake. Merab is not making fucking beginner's mistakes, okay? Dude has an unlimited gas tank. Takedown threat, and takedown threat. He's going to threaten the takedown all fucking day. He's going to pressure him, and when he's not shooting the takedown, he's going to spam overhand rights, which will land. Whoever is living in a fantasy world that says that Corey Sandhagen is going to knock out Merab being flying knee when Merab goes in to take him down, you are literally insane. Everybody was saying the same thing when Merab was going to fight Sean O'Malley. Both times. And none of that didn't even come close to coming to fruition. It didn't. Now, I get Corey has a better fight IQ than pretty much anybody at bantamweight. Sure. You know? Sure. Whatever. But he's not walking through Merab. Merab is a fucking machine. Name off 6 or 5 previous champions that Merab has beat. Corey Sandhagen has struggled with Umar. He struggled with, I was going to say he struggled with Song Yadong, but that's biased because I'm a Song Yadong fan. He did kind of walk through Song Yadong. But boys, I don't see a world where Corey submits my boy Merab. Merab has been sitting here saying, look, I'm going to strike with Corey Sandhagen. I forgot what I was saying, boys, but Corey Sandhagen stands no chance against Merab Dvalishvili. Oh, okay. The takedown threat that Merab is going to pose on Corey Sandhagen is going to be overwhelming. He's not going to know what to do. And I think Merab is right. I think he might stand there and bang with him. Because he's going to level change 1,000 fucking times and confuse and overload Corey Sandhagen. All right, Corey Sandhagen is more of a thinker. Go rewatch that Aljamain Sterling fight. Aljamain Sterling choked him out before he can even speak out a sentence. All right, Corey Sandhagen is going to be in there moving a little slow, and I think Merab is going to have too quick of a pace for him. All right, boys, so we're going to go Merab here. I already know Merab is going to be, a massive minus 375 favorite. I get it. Now, the main event. You guys might hate me for this. Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. They fought already once, and we saw what happened. All right? There's no way that I am not betting Ankalaev. I'll just put it plain and simple. I don't care that Alex Pereira says that he was at 20%. 40%, whatever percentage he said he was during the first fight. Brother, you got your ass whooped for 25. You got wobbled on the feet. Sure, you stuffed the takedowns, but like 40% of those takedowns that were shot were just shot to be shot. You know what I mean? Just to show you, hey, I'm going to shoot a takedown. Be ready. Be worried about this takedown threat. I don't want you to focus all on striking, you know? It wasn't like Ankalaev was doing Hamzat shoots and going literally in midair to tackle Pereira's hips. You know what I'm saying? He was doing half baby shots. But regardless of the fact, bro got controlled against the cage, clinched, even though Alex did kind of want to be on the cage half of the fight. A lot of the times he was just being complacent and just standing there. But Ankalaev controlled the pace of the first fight, wobbled Alex Pereira, and won decisively. Now, while this fight is building up, Alex has been talking a lot of shit. So has Magomed Ankalaev. Magomed has been a lot funnier than Alex. Alex hasn't looked locked in. Magomed looks super confident. Alex is on Twitter asking people what color shorts he should wear out to the event. If you give Magomed a fucking towel, he's going to walk out there. I don't think bro is that worried about his custom UFC shorts, okay? I think he wants a win. I think he wants a ruby in the belt. I think bro wants a ruby in the belt. People are saying the UFC wants Alex Pereira to win. Why? Why would they want that? The division would be cleared out. Who has Magomed Ankalaev fought? Literally no one besides Johnny Walker and... Oh, bro, I am so slow. I was like, why does it say he beat Alex Pereira? Bro, I'm literally... my brain is soup when I talk for more than 15 minutes. But the only person that Ankalaev has beat in light heavyweight, Johnny Walker and Jan Blachowicz. That's it. Sure, Alexander Rakic. Wow, whoop-de-fucking-do. Where is he in the rankings right about now? They want Ankalaev to win, so Pereira can move up to heavyweight. They don't want Pereira to win. What are you guys, sick? Nothing is going on up there at heavyweight. Alex is the biggest star in the heavier divisions than Tom or Magomed or any of these guys. If Alex moves up to heavyweight, is so much better for the UFC than if he wins and stays at light heavyweight. Who would Alex fight next? Carlos Ulberg? Sure. Big whoop-de-doo that he's on a 7-fight win streak, by the way. I mean, I did pick Dominic Reyes to beat him, but big fucking whoop-de-doo. Big whoop-de-doo. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you beat Carlos Ulberg, then what? You cleared out the UFC doesn't want that. They want Ankalaev to win, so there's more storylines. Yuri can get back in the mix. Whoever wins versus Yuri and Khalil is basically up next. Carlos Ulberg is somewhere in the same. You know what I mean? There's more storylines if Magomed Ankalaev wins and Alex Pereira loses and just moves on with his life. All right? I think that Magomed beats Alex hands out clearly. I think it's going to be a decisive victory. I do not think that this fight goes to the judges, if I'm going to be honest with you. I think Magomed takes him out, boys. So look, can we do like double chance? Fight to go to distance, no, -1, whatever. Hold on. All right, well, we can't pick double chance here for method of victory. I mean, well, hold on. Winning method, double chance, here we go. Magomed Ankalaev to win by KO, TKO, or submission +165. I'm taking that shit all day, bro. 9 pick parlay. If we smack this 9-pick parlay, you put $50 on this, you win 98,000 smackaroo. Boys, lock this in. I don't want to hear nothing. Lock this shit in. What was up at 5 on it? 9,000, right? 9,800. Yeah. Put 50 on it. Give me 98. Give me 98. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty confident in all of these, except for Yuri to win by KO, TKO. Maybe Magomed to win. What if we just do All right, hold on. Let's switch this up. We're going to go Magomed money line, and we're going to go Yuri money line. So it's a little safer. Whoa, the odds change significantly. I think that Yuri to win by KO, TKO was kind of holding us up. But it's still plus 7,000. It's still plus 7,000. I just don't know if you know what? I am going to go Yuri to win by KO, TKO. We are going Yuri to win by KO, TKO. Where are you? Plus 100. That boosts the parlay. All right, I'm fine with this. We'll take Magomed money line. We'll take the Magomed money line. All right, boys, but this is it. This is our UFC 320 parlay. All right, you made it to the locks of the week, boys. These are the locks of the week. We had a little bit of a long locks of the week show this month, but hey, we did our thing. We talked about everything we needed to talk about. All right, if you guys made it to the end of the video, comment spooky dookie. All right, I'll see you guys later. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm out of here.